A slate-gray sky hangs over rolling Irish hills. Mist drifts in thin layers across the fields, softening the edges of stone fences and tall grass. The road narrows as the family approaches a grassy rise. At the crest of the hill, a castle ruin cuts into the clouds. Broken windows open into empty stone chambers. Vines thread through cracks in the walls. Ivy clings to archways. A hollow tower stands with missing sections, weathered by wind and rain. The family steps onto a worn path leading toward the ruins. The ground feels damp underfoot. The air smells of wet earth and grass. The pups pull gently forward within leash length, ears lifted as they approach. Dad.
This place feels like it's been waiting here for a very long time.
Mom.
It's quiet in a way that makes you want to whisper.
Max.
I am prepared to observe and document the structural situation.
Bella.
I'm prepared to sniff every historical detail immediately.
Luna.
It feels calm, like the world is holding still for a moment.
The stone silhouette grows larger as the family reaches the entrance arch. They pass through a stone archway into the interior grounds. Moss softens the base of the walls. Ivy hangs in thin drapes along broken edges. The wind moves through open windows and empty spaces, creating a low, constant sound. Bella moves ahead within leash length, nose low, tracing the ground along the stones and grass. Her attention shifts quickly from one scent to the next. Max keeps close to the perimeter, pausing at fallen sections of wall and looking upward toward the remaining tower. Luna slows near a darker corner of the ruin where a doorway leads into shadow. She remains still for a moment, watching the empty space with quiet focus. Mom adjusts her grip on the leashes as they weave between crumbled stone. Bella.
This place has a lot of smells, and I would like to meet all of them.
Max.
The layout suggests defensive intent. I respect the planning.
Luna.
It doesn't feel scary. It feels like something that wants to be remembered.
Dad.
I can't decide if it's peaceful or haunting.
Mom.
Maybe it can be both.
Beyond the ruined walls, wildflowers bloom along the edge of tall grass. The meadow stretches outward, moving gently in the breeze. A short path leads beyond the ruins toward a rocky overlook. Smooth stones rest at the edge, worn by weather and time. The family settles in a quiet spot where the view opens wide across fields divided by stone fences. Mist shifts in the distance, drifting slowly across the hills. Dad sits with the pups close by and looks out over the landscape before speaking. Dad?
Long ago, people lived and fought and protected each other in places like this. They tell stories about warrior queens and legends about fairies in the hills, and the idea that the land remembers every footstep.
Mom?
It makes sense that the stories would stay. The place doesn't feel empty, even when it's quiet.
Max?
If fairies are present, I expect they maintain strict perimeter rules.
Bella?
If fairies are present, I hope they have snacks.
Luna?
I think some places keep stories the way people keep photographs. You don't see it, but it's still there.
A breeze moves across the overlook. The mist thickens briefly beyond far fields, then thins again. Mom watches Luna with a small smile. Mom?
You've always been our dreamer.
Luna?
I just notice things that feel soft and important.
The landscape remains still. The clouds begin to break slightly. A few streaks of sunlight appear, warming the stones and brightening the meadow's green. The family rises from the overlook and walks back along the path. Wind lifts loose leaves along the grass and rolls them across the trail. Max and Bella move forward with renewed energy, tracking the leaves as they tumble along the ground. Dad glances back toward the ruin as they descend the hill. Dad,
These places hold more than stone. They remember.
Mom,
And we get to add one more day to what it remembers.
Max,
I consider this a successful educational stop.
Bella,
I consider this a successful sniffing expedition.
Luna.
I feel like I could sit there for hours and still not be finished listening.
At the car, Mom unfolds their map. Creases show heavy use, and the corners curl slightly from travel. Mom,
One more stop before we leave Ireland. Somewhere cliffs rise high enough to touch the sky.
Dad.
Then we're heading for the sea.
The car starts, and the family drives away from the hill. The ruins fade behind them into mist and distance. Ahead, the road stretches toward the coast, where the wind grows stronger and the next story waits.